You are calling in your dream life. I had the Hermit, the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Cups. This is so much about you doing the envisioning and also the emotional alignment work to call in the things that you're wanting to experience in this life. And there's a real emphasis here on you're willing to be patient for it because you recognize that these things don't always come overnight and that life is preparing you for all of this. Maybe you've had dreams, maybe you've done hypnotherapy around what's coming for you in your life, what you want to experience, what you want to indulge in. And there's such an emphasis here on it's like you just remind me of someone who like never gives up on their dreams. Like even if maybe they pivot or things change, it's like your dreams and desires are just not something you're willing to let die. You just are so choosing yourself and so being soul led in this way where you know that everything that you're dreaming about is like literally already yours. You're already experiencing it. But you're patiently waiting on this human experience for it to come in into reality. But yeah, I just see a lot of work that you've put into the envisioning. And you're really, okay, what I want to say is like, this is pretty under the surface. Like, I don't think a lot of people even realize like how magical you are and how you put a lot of emphasis and care into the things that you're creating. And you create it first vibrationally before you make it manifested. And that's exactly what you're doing. I also feel like even when you're so magical and mystical in the non-physical, I feel that you are so much also bringing it to life in the physical, because then obviously that's how we bring these things to life, is by taking the action steps to make it happen. And that's where I feel you have this level of patience with yourself, with life, that says, I'm just going to show up and do the work that is required. I'm going to build this thing brick by brick. And this could be multiple things in your life you're building at this moment. But it's like you have the patience and the wisdom to just keep showing up for yourself and to just keep going. And again, like never let your dreams die. And that's where I feel that you're stepping into this role of receptiveness, because that's like the last part of receiving your blessings. It's like actually being open to them. And that's where you're vibrationally getting yourself. You're getting into alignment with everything you desire on this level of magic. And I love that the Empress is here. We also have the Nine of Pentacles to say, guess what? You're not going to settle. And even when people, situations, they happen to maybe like highlight something for you. Maybe you thought your life was going down a certain path all of a sudden, and then, you know, you get left or the friendship ends or whatever it is. It's all for your own wisdom and to redirect you back to your purpose. And it's almost like life is not going to let you settle for less than what you deserve, because truly that's like your north compass. That's where you're headed. You feel that. And it's because you keep showing up with integrity for yourself and alignment with yourself. And that's why I feel that anything out of alignment with your truest hopes, dreams, and desires and the best things for you, it's going to be kicked out of your life. And obviously that's not always comfortable, but it always leaves a lesson with you. And I feel like you take that lesson and add it into your toolbox so that you're even more equipped to be in and handle the life of your dreams. Because obviously you know that the life of your dreams requires sacrifices. It requires, to leave behind the things that maybe were comfortable at one moment, but they just aren't any longer and they don't align with you and your future. So now is the time. Now is the time where you're really, I feel like, coming back home to yourself and making all of this known once again, because it's almost like even when life gets you off track or you feel a little imbalanced, you always come back to yourself even stronger, even more aware of who you are and what you're about. And I mean that in the sense of like your soul, of knowing like what you're receiving, your dreams, your desires, they're coming from your soul. They're coming from, your heart, from your bigger self, you could say. And that's what you know about. I think you're always willing to change up your perspectives. It's like you have this openness about you and this willingness to change as things come in. You're not set. But one thing you are set on is, which no one can access or touch, is that part of you that feels where you're headed. You feel where your soul is getting lined up to now, and especially now, like the energies are really getting potent, and the things that are not aligned with us are falling away. It's literally all for our greater goods. And because of your sureness, you're being led in the right direction. And you don't need to second guess or question yourself. That's what's making it really like a really clear channel and a really big attractor. I have the Three of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. Something about like the work you've been going through, you've done a lot of work, and it's like now is the time actually to have a little bit more joy and playfulness in your life. Definitely like let your hair down a little bit, like let things be like fall apart and be a little messy, or invest in like the trip or the outfit or the thing that really, I don't know, makes you feel like alive in a new way, and like also brings you back to physical reality. Because I do feel like you're a person that does a lot of work in the non-physical, but then also it's like, can you just let all that go? The dreams are coming in. Can we relax for a second and enjoy right where we are? There's something like that that's going to help to lighten the load for you. Yeah, something like that. So where in your life can you bring in more joy, more love, more abundance in this moment? Just being exactly where you are. That's that message. I have the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Cups. Literally, your greatest dreams and potentials are gonna arrive when you are choosing yourself and your happiness. Truly. And that's not the egoic kind. That's the soul kind. The cups are the heart. So this is not about mind. This is not what you think you need. This is about what's really true within you. And I feel like the things that aren't aligning with that truth are falling away at this time, because you're destined for this Ten of Cups fulfillment card on the emotional level, having the things that you want and desire. But to be honest, when those things manifest, it's like they don't fill up your cup. You've already filled up that cup within yourself emotionally. And that's where this work is really showing off, where you're doing a lot of this internal work, is in not pedestalizing anything outside yourself. Really coming back home to you and knowing what you're about. And I think that's especially important for you at this time, to really distinguish too, like what is your soul versus your mind and your ego. And how present can you be with that? It's not a projection into the future. How are you now? Because everything is coming from the now. All moments are now. So that's the most important. How are you taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself in this moment? That's what's leading you to your dreams and desires coming into fruition. So that's your reading.